Okay.
What's happening, people? What's happening? 1-800-223-9797. High 97. Let's call that number. Huh?
Another day, another mock draft. This is going to be a good one. We are doing rookie only mock. Say what's up if you're in the chat. What's everybody up to tonight? What's up, Cole World? Thanks,
Oh, world.
everybody, for dropping a like as you come in. It means a lot. Huge love. We're going to be looking at these rookies today, and I think this is going to be great for everyone who has those supplemental rookie drafts coming up, or people who haven't done these supplemental drafts before. It'll be good to get a gauge of where these players are going. You know, I think you and we released a mock draft showing where we would take players. We went back and forth. But I think
Correct.
this sort of forum is always a little bit more accurate as far as ADP and where players will fall, because it's not just you and I's opinions. It's the entire community. So you get a little bit
Yeah.
of a better look at where ADP might actually end up.
I think it's also, I mean, I always say this. I think it's hard to justify, where these guys will usually go because it's all dependent on your team and what your team needs as well. Obviously, you're going to take, there's no one, I don't think there's a consensus 101 or
There
like
is for me.
102, at least in the NFL community, like I feel like everyone's back and forth,
Do
some
you
people
mean
will say
who's in the real draft, or are you saying in Dynasty?
in Dynasty, like in your
Oh,
mock drafts, like
okay.
in your startup drafts, like, yeah, I think maybe Traylon Burks can be a consensus 101, but after that,
Right.
it can be whoever you need, whoever you want, it can be anyone.
Right.
So it's going to be very interesting to see what this is going to look like
Yeah,
as
there's
we move
definitely
closer and
cases
closer.
that can be made for multiple players
Yeah.
at multiple positions. So, what's up, Zach? Good name. I like that name, Zach Harris. What's up, my guy? I don't think we've had you on the stream before, so
Uh-huh.
welcome in. Who's here to mock? Comment, let us know. I say I'm here to mock. If you're here to watch, that's okay. Just hang out and watch. Comment any thoughts you have. So, if you want to mock with us today, it's actually super simple, okay? In the chat box, you will see there is a link that is pinned. It's a comment and it's pinned. And essentially, all you have to do is be a part of our Discord community. Join our Discord. There's no paywall to get into our Discord community. I think that's ridiculous. Some people do that. There's no paywall to get into our Discord community. All you have to
Hmm.
do is join the Discord, and then we will always send out information there on when mocks will be, on links to join our mock drafts. And there's a great community there, with a bunch of people who give their thoughts, help you out on trades, and talk Dynasty, talk redraft, talk NFL draft. It's always a good time over there.
Yeah. Hmm.
What's up, Adam? Shout out to Adam Walker. Huge love, man. I'm
Hey, Adam Walker.
thanks
All
for
love.
thanks for signing up to our follower leagues. You will be in one of our Dynasty follower leagues that are opening up this off season. Excited to play Dynasty with you, my man. If anyone is
Appreciate you.
curious on how to join a Dynasty league, how would they do that, Badaki? Just before we get into this mock.
Yeah, it's really simple. Patreon.com/fantasylandfam. We have 3 different leagues that you can sign up for. You can do redraft if you want to play with us on redraft dynasty, or you can play best of both worlds where you can play redraft and dynasty. Super simple, super easy. Once again, patreon.com/fantasylandfam. Zach will put that in the chat, which is already up now.
Yeah,
Click on that link. If you have any questions,
yeah,
please message us. Let us know. And it's not just playing redraft. You get our dynasty rankings, a fantasy hotline asking Zach and
redraft
I,
rankings, rookie only
yeah,
rankings,
everything that you can
hotline.
think of, you will get, and which is really exciting because
Yeah.
we are building and building, putting so much time and effort into these rankings,
In
these
season Patreon only live streams, that kind of stuff. So
exactly, like so much is happening. So check it out. If you have any questions, please let us know. Once again,
definitely.
patreon.com/fantasylandfam.
What's up, Adam? What's up, Chad? What's up, Wesley? What's up, Scuva? Kenny Powers is here. Garrett's here. Kenny says, saying something nice about the Giants is rough. Dog food sounds more humane. Yeah, you
And
can
you sound
see
like a Cowboys fan, brother.
you can see there's a like goal we set in the chat here. There's a poll that you can vote on. So we hit the 50 like goal. I am buying a Commanders jersey at some point here soon. Whenever they release the
Black
more of
ones,
the
right?
jerseys, we'll see which ones are available. Um, So now we upped the like goal from 50 to 75. So if you want to help us get to 75 likes, if we hit that, I have to either eat dog food or say one nice thing about the Giants. I'm not sure
I
which will be
mean,
harder, but
tell them, Chad, you like the bowl and Danny Dimes. Talk it up. I'm a New York Football Giants fan. Oh, don't get rid of Saquon, please.
Garrett said his bots are ready. All right, guys. So again, I just want to make sure everyone knows how to get into tonight's mock. It's the same way as always, super simple. In the chat box, there is a comment from us that's pinned with a Discord link. Join our Discord. That is how you get the sleeper link to join tonight's mock. I will show you. We have 10 open spots, obviously, because Badaki and I are going to be two people who are drafting. So you can see I have this link, and we're going to send it out here soon to you guys, and that's how you get to be a part of it. So super easy. Again, if you're watching this and you haven't dropped a like, it would mean so much to us if you could drop that like to show some love and say what's up. Let's Chad says, what channel will y'all post the link in Discord? So there is a text channel that says Dynasty Damn It, and in that you'll see Dynasty mock drafts. That's where that link will come.
Yeah. So try to get there now if you guys aren't in the Discord. I'm pretty sure the Discord is pinned in this chat already. Just go there. Like Zach said, Dynasty Damn It, and then Dynasty mock drafts. That's where I would be
going to send the link. Yep.
Yeah, I will be sending the link. You can see all the other previous, links and mock drafts we've done here before. So that could be the right one. I'm going to post it.
You're going to post the link?
I'm not going to post a link. I'm going to tag everyone saying this is the channel for the link. And then I'll tag everyone so everyone can go there now. And then I'm going to...
Perfect.
Then I'm going to tag everyone with the link.
Okay, so the link is coming, guys.
The link is going to be coming. I'm giving people some time because I know it's a little bit delayed.
Eli profile picture. I like. Garrett said he likes your profile picture on Sleeper. Yeah, I need to change mine to something better.
Yeah.
Chase, this is why Zach left me on red. Yeah, man. I looked at it and then I was like, I don't think I can do that, but I didn't have time to respond. At that point, we can talk later. Drusiv says Drake London equals N'Keal Harry. Man. Prove me wrong. I'll tell you what, my guy, you've come to the right channel because we are not high on Drake.
We just did a video, like a draft profile on Drake London, and the whole time we were like, it's okay if you disagree because we know we are about to get ripped on that video.
I think we gave good reason why. Is that video will be out here in the next couple days.
Yeah. All right, guys.
Throughout this week.
I'm going to post this chat once again, or this link in this channel. So in 3, 2, 1, it's about to go up now so we can get this started. And there it goes. But yeah, so interesting.
Dude is a sloth.
Yeah, that's the thing. We said, look, we can talk about it, but
I think the video is going to do the best justice because
let the video.
It's our actual thoughts. So
we might release it this week. We'll see.
Okay, so we got people who are joining Fantasy Dominator: Zach, Garrett, Jaden, Tebow, Chad the Dad. I love that name. Spartan Kick. Shout out to Spartan Kick. Just joined.
People here.
Yeah,
got Chad the Dad, Fantasy Dominator. I think that could be it.
Yeah.
Spartan Kick. 2 more spots here. Usually the rookie mock draft's a little bit hard to.
I believe
fill up.
Spartan Kick is Adam, and he just joined our follower leagues,
awesome.
Which is awesome to have him here. Kenny says, "Sorry guys at work. Join the Discord though. No stress, my guy. No stress.
Yeah, no stress.
Anyone can watch or join. And by the way, guys, if you don't, we have 2 spots left. If you're watching this, join our Discord and you can get in with us. If you don't get into tonight's mock and you want to be a part of mocks in the future, just in our Discord server, message the Fantasyland Football account, DM us there, and we will make sure to get you into a mock because I know sometimes they are difficult to get into. So just let us know, DM us there, and we'll make sure to get you in when the next one comes. So we do have 2 spots left, which is surprising. Normally these go quite quick. Normally it's within like 5 seconds we're completely full.
Usually we kind of hype it up with the the draft before this. This
Yeah,
is the
that's
first
true.
time we've done a rookie draft just
On its own.
straight from on its own.
Chad
So
McBurney says, thanks. We just had a newborn girl. Hell yeah, bro. Congratulations.
congratulations, brother. That's awesome.
That is awesome. All right, we have one spot left. What's the name? What did you name her? Tell me that you named her Gibson after Antonio Gibson. Amen. What did I say?
We have a friend named his son after Antonio Gibson. Not jokes.
No, well, his name is
It's
Gibson. And
actually
I
Smith.
tell him
It's
that the
actually,
reason he chose that name was because of Antonio Gibson. But
it's actually Smith Gibson, but one spot left.
tell me that you named her Jameson after Jameson Williams.
Jameson.
Traylon?
In my whole
One spot left here. One spot left, and then we'll get started. All right, I'll just tell you guys how this is going to work. So, just so everyone's aware, at certain points, I will pause this draft so we can discuss the picks. Because this isn't a 15-round draft, it's simply a 4-round draft. A lot of people might watch this back or be watching now live and want to know, is that a good place for this rookie? Is that a good place for this rookie? And we're just going to pause every once in a while just to give our thoughts, just to say, what we think of that pick or the ADP. So don't be surprised if that happens at some points. But we're not going to pause it for too long, but just be aware at some points we will pause. It is only 4 rounds. All the rookies are available for you to select whatever rookies you prefer. And now we are officially full.
Brother Ryan came through. All love, Ryan.
So we will go ahead and start this bad boy off. Again, rookie only draft. And we will pause this at certain points to discuss on YouTube.
What a day, huh?
Yep.
Let me just pull this up. I'll pull these guys up for me. I've been trying to draft in areas that, spots that I'm drafting at, just so I can get a gauge of, who's going to come to me. If I'm going to take this person.
Right.
I'm in a couple leagues. I'm at the 110, the 19, and I'm in the 15-1. I'm at the 112-1. So
Chad says they named her Phoebe, and she's a little Rams fan. So happy they won. That's awesome. Wesley is fantasy dominator. Awesome. Sean says, just check to see if there were spots got in and thought I should turn the stream on. Hell yeah. Welcome, Shawnee. All right. So we see Treylon Burks at the 101 and then Kenneth Walker at the 1-2. Kenneth Walker is my RB2, but let's just pause here and talk about these first 3 picks because this is going to be a conversation piece for a lot of people curious about these picks. I'm okay with Treylon at the 1-1. I've said this before. I think there is a talent gap between 3 players in this draft and the rest of the quarterbacks. This is a SuperFlex rookie-only draft. I'm okay with Treylon at the 1-1. I think it makes a lot of sense. Kenneth Walker, though, at the 1-2, Badaki, I think this is a little too early for Kenneth Walker, personally. I think Breece Hall is the more complete running back. If you're looking at running back, to me, Kenneth feels better around the 1.5 to 1.7 area. But what do you think? I could be wrong on that.
Yeah, look, obviously this is all going to be based on where they land. So maybe Kenneth Walker, maybe Spartan has Kenneth Walker going to a place where he's going to get a full workload right here, right now, where Breece maybe could be in a running back by committee or something like that. But look, yes, right now I will be going based off my rankings, and Breece Hall is my first RB.
Okay.
Where Kenneth Walker, I think, is my third technically right now, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, look, it's just all based. It's going to be dependent on where they go. We're going to get some more information as we go closer and closer into the NFL Combine and the NFL Draft. So anything can change.
Definitely makes sense. All right, after Breece Hall, for me, I would go Breece. Again, I just have him ranked higher as a talent at this point. But again, landing spot could determine that. I think Malik Willis, anywhere from the 1.4 onwards, makes a lot of sense. The highest upside amongst any quarterback. It is a super flex league. We're drafting as if this is a super flex format. And I think you probably agree with me. It makes sense to take him here at the 1.4.
Yeah, 100%.
How about Garrett Wilson at the 1.5? He's your wide receiver 1.
Yeah, he's my wide receiver 1. If you can get Garrett Wilson from the 1.5 or later, which I think more people will get, will be taking more quarterbacks depending on where they're actually landing. Once we know that, I think Garrett Wilson can actually fall from the 1.7 downwards. So it's going to be very interesting to see what that looks like. But yeah, I love Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, so Adam just commented and said Walker is his running back one. So I get it. I get why some people would. I mean, at this point, you're only drafting based off of talent. So if that's how you evaluated the players, makes sense. For me, I think Brees Hall is a more complete back, and all that guy does is score touchdowns. But I understand where you're coming from. All right, I'm okay with Garrett Wilson at the 1.5. He is my wide receiver 4. A lot of people don't like that I have him so low, but I'm okay with him there if he is your guy. All right, let's go ahead and just address a couple quick comments in the chat.
Yeah,
Yes,
100%.
this is SuperFlex.
Mhm.
And then Wesley says, I want to join one of your Dynasty startup leagues if you have any available soon. Yes, sir. We have basically a wait list that's open right now. So if you go to patreon.com, Badaki, there's 3 tiers that they can sign up to.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if you want to start the draft, but yeah, there's 3 tiers you can sign up to. Go to patreon.com/fantasylandfam. That's the best way you can join one of our 3 tiers. We have, if you want to play redraft, dynasty, or you want to play redraft and dynasty, you can select the best of both worlds and sign up for that one. Zach will put that in the chat. Once again, patreon.com/fantasylandfam. If you want to be part of the our dynasty and redraft. I just made a trade with Sean actually from the 101 last I think for last night with Sean, and yeah, like with so many people are active in our dynasty right now, especially right now. The off season is crazy.
Yeah.
So it's actually exciting.
Okay, so this is actually upsetting to me because there are
You
all
wanted
these players I really, really wanted. I wanted Jameson. I wanted Olave. I wanted Malik if people were going to pass on quarterbacks. So now I'm going to have to take a second and really, really think about it. I'm just going to address a couple of the comments in the chat. Mason says Walker will have the most rushing yards of the big 3 in the rookie year. Yeah, it will definitely depend on what's the running backfield look like for these landing spots. But he could. Kenny says Walker needs to show off his hands. I can see that as well. Chris says, I love these mocks. If y'all would consider it, would love to see it on with 16 or 20 leagues with 5 rounds. Wow, that's crazy. That is actually crazy. But we could consider it for sure.
Yeah, we can definitely consider it.
All right, so Jameson Williams, my wide receiver 1, slowly going to be my wide receiver 2 soon. I think I'm leaning towards that way, but as of right now, I still have Jameson Williams as my wide receiver 1. Okay. If it wasn't for the injury, he would be the clear wide receiver 1 in this draft. I don't think there's any question there. We've seen a ton of players come back from that sort of injury. I love that pick. Olave is my 3, so I'm definitely okay with that as well. And now I'm sitting on the board, and I'm between 2 different wide receivers at this point. I think the talent gap is there for me between 2 different wide receivers. I'm going to shock some people with this selection, but due to the fact that I think that his draft capital will be higher than the other player I have ranked ahead of him in my rankings, I will be taking Drake London here at the 1.8. Wow. There's one wide receiver I have ranked higher than him, but I do think draft capital is going to be on the side of Drake London, which means he probably has a better role to start their careers. So without knowing the landing spots, I'll take London there at the 1.8, even though he is my wide receiver 6, not 5.
Yeah. Interesting. I wasn't expecting you to go Drake London. I thought you would go another person, which I might be taking him now that he's still on the board.
Yeah.
But we'll definitely see what happens.
And at this point, if you're gonna comment and say like you have to go quarterback here because it's super flex, if there's a quarterback that you believe in enough, definitely like go for it. To me, the gap between quarterback talent and wide receiver talent is so significant this year. So I love these wide receivers, not in love with the quarterbacks outside of Malik. So that's where I'm kind of standing on that.
Makes sense. Sean says 6 trades so far this offseason. So yeah, Sean's going off. And he just did a trade probably like 10, 15 minutes ago. Crazy. Adam, Garrett Wilson is my wide receiver 1 for me. Great pick at the 105. Absolutely. I love the pick. Garrett Wilson is my wide receiver 1 as well in this rookie draft. I'm just really excited. I'm really excited about this guy. I think he is. Yeah. He has everything and more. There goes Kyron Williams.
Okay.
That makes sense.
You know,
I think it makes sense.
It does make sense, but there are still wide receivers I'm taking over Kyron Williams at this point. There's even quarterbacks I'm taking over Kyron at this point. I think after Kenneth Walker and Brees Hall, To me, there's a tier gap between Kyron and another running back that you and I are really high on.
Mm,
So for me, I do think there are still higher tiered wide receivers and quarterbacks on the board at this point. However,
right.
if Kyron's your guy, grab him, go get him. We all want
Mhm.
him to be Austin Eckler, but what if he's just J.D. McKissick? Do you know what I mean? Like that is a possibility.
Yeah. All right. Look, I can either go wide receiver or quarterback here. This is a super flex league.
Yep.
And every single time I've drafted and we've done a rookie mock draft, I've still taken this guy at my first pick. And I don't see how I don't take him, even if he is even if he falls to the 110, I don't see how I don't take him. You know,
Yep.
the thought process of this guy going to the Washington football team, the Denver Broncos, maybe even the Atlanta Falcons, I like it. I think he's the most ready quarterback coming out of most NFL ready quarterback coming out of this draft. And I think that's Kenny Pickett. I like him. And I don't know why he keeps falling and falling in people's draft boards. But for me, he's my QB1. If I can get him at the 110, I'm really
Okay.
excited about that.
I like it. By the way, Sleeper Marcus just commented, said, "Hey guys, I'm updating the rookie ADP sheet at the moment to bump up, excuse me, a bunch of the guys buried in ADP like Algier, Tolbert, Mechie, Watson, Weidemeyer, and more. Also, Skymore, I assume. Thanks for the
Yes, try
stream.
more.
Sleeper Marcus, I'm assuming that means you work for Sleeper. If so, that's awesome, man. Thanks for joining the stream. Um, this Sleeper is the only app that we use for Dynasty. I don't think there's another app that's better, but it would be good to get an update from the ADP because there were some players that
Yeah.
I think a week ago we did one of these, and there were guys who were buried in the ADP or they weren't even on the list. So then we just took random players and said that they were those players instead. But thanks for joining, man. Adam says only quarterback I'm comfortable drafting in round one is Willis. The rest is dependent on situation. I definitely get that. I get where you're coming from, Adam. And like Badaki and I have said so many times, I think this year more than any other year, you can justify taking whatever player you want wherever you want to take them.
Yeah.
Like we might not do it, but you can justify the reasons why you would do it because there is so much room for opinion here.
Oh, you didn't do snake or reset.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry. We're gonna have to take that pick off the board. I can change that setting to do linear. That's my bad. Here we
Yeah.
go.
Sorry there, fantasy dominator. I know you're probably thinking about that. That's our
Let's
bad.
just talk about these two picks that just went off the board. Okay, so you took Pickett. I like Pickett there at the 110. In a super flex league, it makes sense. Like, why not just go grab a quarterback, someone who might be the first quarterback off the board? In a super flex league, you got him at the 110. Like, yeah, that makes sense. Might not be the highest upside, but quarterbacks are very valuable in super flex dynasty. Isaiah Spiller goes at the 111. I think the reason you're seeing, if you're watching this and you don't subscribe to our channel, the reason you're seeing Spiller go much later than other channels that might cover this is because we're just not as high on him as the rest of the community. I think he's my RB5. I think he's Badaki's. What is he for you?
Let me actually pull it up here. I have it up.
Anyway,
He
for
is
me,
my
I don't see him
RB4.
RB4. Okay, I just don't see him being a workhorse running back. I think he could be that, but to me, he's more of a complementary piece. And then David Bell. We both love David Bell, so at the 112, we're definitely okay with that value, I assume.
Yeah, we definitely like the value. I think that's fine. One thing, I was just thinking about as you were talking. We're having this conversation about these guys can go anywhere
Totally.
in your rookie drafts,
Mhm.
right? The conversation is most likely going to change once we know where these guys go.
For sure.
You know,
Draft
like
capital is going to be massive.
yeah, if Traylon Burks goes to a team that we don't necessarily love, he's definitely not going to be 101. And
Or Kyron Williams is like a perfect example. If Kyron Williams falls to the fourth round in the NFL draft, we can't take him in the first round here. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, exactly. Like we don't know like what that. Oh, Carson Strong.
But let's
That's
say
interesting.
Kyron goes in the beginning of the third. You can start to justify certain things. Okay, Carson Strong at the 2-1, and then we have George Pickens. We'll just pause quickly to talk about that. So Carson Strong, interesting. I don't know if I'm taking him here.
Not taking him here. I think you could have waited potentially until maybe the third round, even fourth. I think last time he went in the fourth or third, if I'm not mistaken. The best way I always explain or kind of have an understanding of who Carson Strong is, he is a quarterback that came into the league at the wrong decade.
Right.
He's massive. He sits in the pocket. He understands. He's smart. I think probably has the highest football IQ out of the whole class. He just doesn't have the mobility. And
Through
that's the
in a pass heavy offense, through like almost 50 times a game, only threw an interception on 1.3% of his passes. Carson Strong.
it's actually
So
crazy. So like I think the mold of the NFL right now is different to Carson Strong. I do believe he can be a successful quarterback, and maybe that changes on dependent on the place or the team that he lands on.
right.
So, I mean, let's say Carson Strong, hypothetically, I mean, this is probably super left field. Carson Strong goes to the Washington football team.
Stop it.
He's
No, I will end the
I know you
stream
don't
right
like
now.
it. You don't like it, but he's competing for a starting job over Taylor
Stop.
Heineke and whoever else is coming.
Look,
So
if we get him in
it'll
the
be interesting.
third or fourth round, yeah, that's fine. But no, let's no. Look, I think it's a little bit too early. Corral and Howe feel like they fit more the modern day NFL, and I think they'll have higher draft capital. But again, you can justify it. And Pickens was who I was considering at the 1-8, by the way. I have him as my wide receiver 5. If it wasn't for the injury, I think he might be the wide receiver 1 in this class, honestly. Dude is insane on tape. Most fluid player I've seen in a long time. Pablo Picasso was born to paint. George Pickens was born to play wide receiver. I think if it wasn't for the injury, he would be in conversation for the 101.
And the NFL Combine is going to be massive for George Pickens because that's where he's going to say, you know what, this ACL is behind me. You know, don't worry about it no more.
I agree. Just catching up on the chat.
Wow.
There goes Matt Corral.
Adam says, oh, wait, sorry. Mason says, for some reason, Kyren reminds of Eckler. That's a great point you made about his ceiling potentially being J.D. McKissick. Yeah, there's such a range of outcomes for Kyren. You know, there's no guarantee that Kyren is, even though we all comp him to Eckler, that he is Eckler. You know, Eckler is such a rare case. Chad says, I wish we could sort by position. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, man. Maybe that will be something that comes with an update.
Maybe Sleeper Marcus. I think Sleeper Marcus.
Yeah, Sleeper Marcus. You never know. Sleeper Marcus is here. No, so the issue is that I only put SuperFlex positions. Anyway, that's probably on me. It just makes more sense because I wanted it to be a 4-round mock. Anyway, it's too much to explain. But I didn't want people not to be able to not draft the same position. I don't know if that makes sense. Steven says, I think going quarterback is going to depend on the NFL draft. Yeah, I definitely agree. We got someone talking about Wandale. Thanks, RJ. Appreciate you for coming in. Sean says, just gotta say this year's #1 fantasy quarterback and this year's MVP were both standstill quarterbacks. I definitely get it. All right, we'll go ahead and talk about these last couple picks that went off the board. Corral, Dotson, Howell. I'm okay with all of these picks. Genuinely, 100%. I'm okay with them.
This makes sense right here,
makes
especially
sense.
at the second round.
Take a shot on the quarterback, and then Dotson is a talent that a lot of us believe in. So if you have Dotson in a higher tier, then go get your guy. So makes sense.
Definitely does. Oh, this is where there goes Jerome Ford. That's the guy I had on my queue.
Yeah, I was hoping he was gonna fall.
Cincinnati Bearcats. This guy, if you don't know who Jerome Ford is, please go watch him. A tremendous talent. I think he's a do-it-all back. He's a guy that is going to skyrocket, in my opinion, in draft boards. And this is a guy I'm targeting a lot in the second round, maybe at the 112. If I'm at the 1-1 and all these, and let's say Pickens and Dotson are off the board and I don't need a quarterback, I might take Jerome Ford at the 2-1 there.
Yeah, for me, so as a player, I have him ranked as my 3rd running back. Okay, it's Breece, Kenneth Walker. Sorry, my 4th. Breece, Kenneth Walker, Kyren, and then Jerome. So as a player, I get that. However, I think for a guy like Jerome Ford, NFL draft capital is going to be crucial in where we end up drafting him in rookie mocks. Because if he falls to the 5th round, we can't draft him at the 2-1. Do you know what I mean? Like, draft capital is going to be massive for him, but you and I both do like him. And then James Cook comes off the board. Versatile player. I think he can be an elite 3rd down running back in the NFL. You know, I don't think he can handle a full workload. Badaki does, but all it takes is an opportunity. So it's definitely a possibility that he could do that. So I'm sitting here on the board, and for me, there is still a wide receiver that I really love. I love his upside. I saw someone comment his name earlier. I didn't want to say it because I didn't want anyone to draft him. Just going to be honest with you. And that is Wan'Dale Robinson. Let me just quickly say, I heard Todd McShay yesterday say that Wan'Dale reminded him of Deebo Samuel. Okay, that is heresy. That is ridiculous to say.
Oh the hell, I'm Tom McShay.
Who the
Mel
hell is
Kiper.
Mel Kiper?
Well, Mel
They were
Kiper.
doing a segment. He was like, I'm comping him to Deebo Samuel. How are we comping him to Deebo Samuel? I mean, to me, in the open field, he looks like Tyreek Hill, but he doesn't have the elite speed. So think of Tyreek Hill, but not that elite speed. Short area explosiveness, twitchy guy, really fun athlete to watch. Not the tallest guy at all. He is not Deebo Samuel, but I think he can be a very explosive weapon in the NFL. So I'm happy to take him here at the 2.8. I think it is.
Yeah, I think it's good value there. We're gonna see what's gonna happen, and there goes Desmond Ridder.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's all the quarterbacks now off the board essentially.
A couple more,
at least all the top guys
Yeah.
going off the board, which makes my pick very easy.
Take some time to take this pick because I just want to address the chat first.
Yeah, let's adjust the chat.
MP says he's loving this. Wish he got these picks in real life. Gator says I was considering quarterback with my first pick, but my dynasty league is a 1 quarterback league and I already have Herbert. That makes sense. I can see why you would have done that then. Sleeper Marcus says, yeah, you'll only be able to sort by positions. I'd be doing the same thing here, just using the SuperFlex spots. Yeah, it's the only way to really make it a 4-round. Hey. Okay. Shout out to Momo.
I wish Matthew Stafford was doing that. Unlucky.
Well, I mean, he is doing that technically.
No, like I wish there was a video of him actually doing that.
Oh, okay.
Anyway.
Thanks for the sub. Kennedy Brooks is a stud. I think he's
think
probably
he's a
going to be
running
a 5th to 7th round pick in the NFL draft. He's interesting.
Yeah, he's definitely interesting. Chad, plan on taking him in my real draft because I had the 101 and the 201. I'm assuming someone you drafted, or
I think he's talking about Isaiah Spiller. Maybe that's who he selected at the 111.
Okay.
But yeah, I love Wan'Dale as a prospect. He is tiny. You're right. Okay, Badaki, 30 seconds. What's the thought process here at the 210?
Thought process is like, once again, it's the gap now for me. You know, all these guys are on for James Cook. Those guys were the guys that I was going to hone in on if they fell to me at the 210, which I doubted. So now for me, my best available player is actually in the tight end position at Trey McBride. He's a guy that I love. He can come in, be a workhorse at the tight end position. He's a do-it-all guy. He can block and he can catch the ball, and he has decent speed. So if I said, why not take him? Why not the New York Football Giants take him? Get rid of Evan Ingram, a guy that can block and catch the ball and can contribute right away.
Yep.
Trey McBride. I love this guy.
If it wasn't Wan'Dale for me, it would have been Trey McBride, the most complete tight end in the draft by far. This guy's going to be on the field for such a high percentage of snaps for whatever team he plays because he can do everything. He can block amongst the best. He improves the offensive line. He improves the run game, and he can catch. I mean, he is a do-it-all tight end. I love that pick there at the 210. He probably should have gone earlier, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm surprised that he didn't go earlier. I think, maybe there was a couple picks that I think you can justify Trey McBride over. Like, I personally would have taken him over Wan'Dale, Desmond,
I get it.
Carson Strong, and all these other, and James Cook. Other than that, like, I'm taking all those other guys. Makes
sense. Chris says, that's funny because I'm all over Wan'Dale and I was screaming Deebo for 5 years because I'm a huge Gamecocks fan. But if I'm not mistaken, did Wan'Dale transfer from Nebraska? I can't remember. I could be wrong on that, but that's funny. I mean, yeah, we all see players a little bit differently when they're on our favorite college teams. But look, I understand what Tom McShay was trying to say about the Deebo Wan'Dale comp, but we cannot be throwing Deebo out as comps. It's just it happens way too often, in my opinion.
I think maybe it was like how he can be utilized.
Yeah,
potentially.
Yeah, for sure. Chad asked, "How do you feel about the Super Bowl?" I mean, I thought it was a great game. I know people were upset about the late game flags, but at the same time,
thought it was
T
great as well.
Higgins, as much as I love him, I'm in love with the guy. No, pause.
You okay,
In
man?
a totally, completely normal way. Um, that was the most obvious OPI I've ever seen. So I don't think that the rest were the reason that the Rams won. I thought it was a really, really great game, and props to both teams for making it that far.
Mhm.
Talking about Spiller, Walker, and Howell at the 201 makes sense. Momo says, funny thing is Burrow is my quarterback in my one dynasty league. I'm a little early. It's a little early to scout for this year's draft, but I'm here. Welcome, brother. Welcome. Thanks for joining the
Yeah.
channel.
And the next, I was talking to Zach the other day. I was like, the next big thing is the NFL Combine. We're going to see how these guys are going to test out the numbers or speed. I mean, if Wandale runs a 4.2, something crazy, he can definitely go in the first. Then everything can change.
Yeah,
You know,
he
it
could.
all depends on what's going to happen.
He's not.
So
He's not going to, but he could.
yeah, like
Um,
the possibility of that happening could, depending on how his combine goes and all the chatter around the league.
hey, if if Sleeper, it was his name again. Sorry, the guy from Sleeper who was watching. If you're here, if you could put in a word for us, to get rid of the players that are in the ADP, the rookie only ADP who actually aren't rookies, because there's been quite a few that we've found in the ADP where there's a bunch of random players who aren't even rookies. They're just practice squad guys who have gotten waived. So I just wanted to see if that might be something that you guys could do for us as well. Um, I'll be honest with you guys, I don't know much about Eli Stove. I know he's out of Auburn. I watched a little bit of his film. I'll need to rewatch it. To me, I wasn't impressed enough to take him this early. I wasn't even sure if he was in the draft. Anyway, we'll have to research more on him, to be honest with you. Brian
I
Robinson.
don't know about him, to be honest. I
Uh,
think this guy Eli Stove, by the way, is already in the league, if I'm not mistaken. Could I be
I
wrong?
don't think so. I believe he's coming out of Auburn, but we'll have to do some more research on him. I don't want to speak on him as if we know him if we don't.
Yeah, I
Brian
don't know.
Robinson at the 212. I like Brian Robinson. He definitely moved higher in my rankings when I looked at just the fact that he can do a lot of things well. I think that's what a lot of NFL GMs are looking for from a running back. Yeah, he doesn't do anything elite, Brian Robinson, but he does force a lot of missed tackles and he does a lot of other things really, really well. He will get drafted higher than we expect him to because he's a Bama running back. So I'm okay with that pick there at the 212. Jerry on Ely, man, what a fun guy to watch on film. 5-star recruit, tiny guy, but he was really, really fun to watch. Definitely a sleeper, and he might rise in rankings. And one of my favorite sleepers in the draft is Sky Moore. I've been talking about Sky Moore for a couple months now. I just
Yeah.
heard someone on ESPN talk about him yesterday, and I was yelling at the screen saying, "Thank you, finally." But
But stop
finally,
talking about him.
but yeah, but also just shut up. Like, let's not talk. Let's just shh. No one needs to know about Sky. Honestly, I think after the combine, everyone's gonna know about him.
Yeah, I think
But
so as well.
I like those picks there. They make sense to me. There might have been other players I would have taken, but I understand the picks.
All right, Ryan's on the board here, guys. If you guys don't know, if you see, you can probably see the poll that's going on right now. If we hit 75 likes, Zach has to either eat dog food or say one nice thing about my beloved New York Football Giants.
Vote for dog food. I would rather eat dog food. I would rather eat dog food than say one nice thing about the Giants.
We're currently on 33 likes, so if you come in here and if you see this video, please like this, man. It really helps us just reach more people as well.
Yeah. Thoughts on Zappy? I think, yeah, he put up video game numbers. I honestly just see him as a good backup quarterback in the NFL, like a very good backup quarterback. I don't see him as a starter personally.
I agree as well. Like, there's just not much there for me. If he does get the opportunity, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
He goes Khalil Shakir. Wow.
So yeah, let's
He's
talk
rising
about
up, man.
these players that just went off the board. For me, Mechie is too high, but I mean we can't undervalue a Bama wide receiver who had 96
Exactly.
receptions. But I love the Rashad White pick, and I love the
love it.
Justin Ross and Khalil Shakir picks off the board as well.
Yeah,
Shakir is
I
one
think
of your
these-
favorite sleepers.
Shakir is one of my favorite sleepers. He's a guy. I think he's the way you see Wando Robinson is the way I see Khalil Shakir. If you watch this
Right.
guy, he's electric, extremely fast. I think he's right on that elite speed. He's a do-it-all guy, and I love him, man. I think he can come in and contribute to any team right now. Just put him in. Put him in.
Yeah, the
Watch
interesting
it.
thing about Khalil is that Yeah, he is right under that elite speed category, but he's also not like 5'7". Like he plays like the Rondales, he plays like
Yeah.
the Skies, but he's 6 foot. So
Yeah,
I
6
think
foot. I
he's
was
gonna
gonna say.
have more durability in the league potentially.
Mhm.
I love Justin Ross, by the way. I think if it's not for that injury, he would go much higher. What a talent. I mean, he showed so much before that injury. It does worry me. Like that spine injury is no joke, but I understand why you would take him at this point.
For me, Justin Ross is not the guy that jumps off the film for me, or
Yeah.
when I'm watching him. I love, I'm taking Shakir and a couple other players over him right now. Justin Ross.
Shakira.
Yeah, that spine injury is massive, so it's gonna be interesting to see where he goes. But
Yeah.
I could be wrong on Justin Ross. He's my guy that I think I am so not with consensus.
Yeah,
With the
you're
I
not.
guess the Twitter sphere.
The Twitter sphere. Okay, look, so
Don't take my guy.
no, I'm not going to take a guy. There's a couple players I'm considering here. I'm not going to say who I'm considering. By the way, Jalen Weidemeyer.
I don't know.
I love saying his name. Love the talent. Love the pick there at the 3.7. If you need a tight end, he could be a steal. So for me, there's a running back that I really would love to grab here, but I think I can get him in the 4th round. So I'm going to pass on him. I'm much higher than other people. And then that leads me to a wide receiver that I really like. He is in my top 12. He is number 11. And I believe Christian, the ADP should be updated at this point, and that is Christian Watson. You can't deny the film. Look, at this point in the 3rd round, let's look for upside. Let's look for a player who can make a real massive impact. Was he 6'5", catches everything, and still fast? I mean, I love Watson as a prospect.
This is okay. When you see this Drake London video, and you say, "Hey, this is why we don't like Drake London." Christian Watson is the guy that we like, and the reasons why we like him. Just watch his film.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the right way to explain it, but Christian Watson has a speed, explosiveness, and the separation compared to Drake
Didn't
London.
play the best competition by any means, but definitely could develop into a really good wide receiver in the NFL. Damian Pierce off the board, a running back that you really like. We both view him as like a 1-2 first and second down running back. Maybe the goal line running back can contribute. I think you had mentioned he could be going to Philly. Why do you like that fit?
The way I see him is more of a complimentary back that comes in. He's a big body guy. He hits the hole hard, and he can get that first down on that goal line. You need a first, you're on the goal line, on the 1 yard line, the 2 yard line. He's gonna punch it in. He is the Jordan Howard. He takes over that Jordan Howard role in Philly, and he can be a good, complimentary guy that can come in and take touches away from someone like Miles Sanders, which is annoying. But that's how I see it. Which makes my decision a lot harder because these were guys
I thought you were probably going to take Damian there if he was available.
These are the guys. Christian Watson and Damian are the guys that I had on my queue. So now I have no idea who I'm going to take.
Now it just comes down to rankings. Who's the next guy on your board?
Yeah,
and as far as tiered rankings, who's the next tier?
My wide receivers here.
There's a couple names I really like on the board still. I'm hoping they fall to me at the 4-8. Probably not, but you never know. But
the other guy that I can think of is, I'm gonna go with my rankings here still. I don't think he's here. Oh, he is. It's Velus Jones.
Hey. Thanks for the sub, Daniel. I appreciate that.
Look, I probably could have waited until the 4th
to get Velus, yeah.
But this guy's 25 years old, and it's unfortunate that he's 25.
He's 24, but he'll be 25 by the time draft comes.
He is once again explosive. He's one of my sleepers. He's a guy that I could think another guy can come in and contribute right away on a team. If he goes to somewhere, I said the Chargers. I think I said he could be a good complimentary wide receiver 2 or wide receiver 3 and just be that slot guy. I like Velus Jones.
Yeah.
Velus Jones. I don't know how to say it.
Velus Jones Jr. I think we comped him to. Thanks, Matthew. Appreciate that. I think we comped Velus Jones Jr. to Ray McLeod, but still, I mean, he could be utilized in an offense in some interesting way. Likely a kick returner, but has the speed to do something pretty interesting.
Mhm.
Sleeper Marcus says it'll be updated later today / tomorrow, most likely. Watson is rising big time. Ely / Ford so far, the only guys drafted that I hadn't touched. We'll move them up as well. Yeah, and honestly, Sleeper Marcus, I don't think the community is as high on Ford as we are, but that that might just be us. But
Yeah, that can definitely be us, but everyone's different. Everyone loves other different people. It's
yeah,
just, I guess it's kind of hard. Got a lot of guys
like we
there.
said before, there's so much room to justify taking different players at different positions. Chad says, I'm an Auburn fan, and sadly, I didn't recognize any of the names off the list in a hurry because of the weird ADP messing with players. But yeah, he's already in the league and got signed to the Chargers. Okay, right. Eli
Yeah.
Stove. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. You're right, Badaki. I need to familiarize myself more with these rookies outside of the top guys. I mean, that's why we're here, Chad. That's why we're here, my guy. You're at the right place.
The Chad.
Okay.
Oh.
Isaiah
Ah,
Weston. I need to learn more about Isaiah Weston than Tyler Igar goes off the board at the 312. A lot of people are really, really high on him. I see him more as a complimentary guy, but at the end of the third, I mean, it makes sense like to get the value there. And then Cade Otton, not
this
my
is your
next
guy.
tight end off the board. No, Cade's not my guy.
Oh, you have somebody else,
No,
right?
there's
Okay.
actually two tight ends I have ranked higher than him.
Really?
Yeah,
Now you changed? I haven't seen it, but that's interesting.
Otton was never the guy. You're thinking of someone else. You're thinking of a different name,
No,
which
I'm
I'm
pretty
hoping will be on
sure.
the board when I come. Cade isn't someone that I'm very high on. Starts with the same letter, which probably gives away too much. But
Okay, yes. I know who it is now. Okay,
yeah,
I got confused.
you're
Okay, yeah.
good. But hopefully no one drafts him. I don't think anyone will. No one's talking about him.
Hmm.
Isaiah Weston. I actually don't really know too much about Isaiah Weston. Does anyone in the chat know much about him? Maybe we need to research this guy a little bit more. Looks like he
Weston,
was out of
North Iowa.
northern Iowa.
Let's see what
Interesting.
this guy is. 6'4", 210. He's a pretty big guy.
We'll have to do a little bit more research on him afterwards. Um,
He didn't have much
but yeah,
work.
I can't comment too much on him because I don't really know much about the player, if I'm honest with you. So then we see Auten and then Zamir White, one-time 5-star recruit out of Georgia, tore his ACL before he went to Georgia, and then freshman year at Georgia tore his other ACL. My guy's been through the blender, and great talent.
Hmm.
We'll see if he's able to put something
Yeah,
together
man.
here.
It's just sad. Just sad. 5-star recruit guy.
Uh,
GG's.
The Valhalla Knights says Ford could be this year's Kylan Hill. Yeah, that's an interesting comp. I can see where you're coming from. Gator says, have two names in mind. Don't snipe me. Chris says, I'm looking hard at Romeo Dubs. That 60-yard
Man.
pass to him from Strong in the Kansas State game got me thinking about Carson Strong too. Let me tell you what. Romeo Dubs, who knows what he could be? I mean, he's an interesting
It's so
prospect as
hard.
well.
It's so hard, man. He's a guy that can be, in my opinion, elite, or he can just be like flatten out like a balloon. Like, I don't know. Like, there's the scale with him is either great or nothing, and it's not like, this is a guy that can just contribute and just be decent. At least that's how I see him. I know
Sleeper.
Zach is a little bit different.
Yeah, he's an interesting prospect. I think he's going to get buried in draft capital, so I don't think he's going to have a good role. That's my only
There
issue
goes,
with him. But
there goes there.
so Sleeper
Alex
Marcus
Field.
said Chigo, not Chigo. I know him out of Maryland, but that's not the guy I'm thinking of. So yeah, at this point we are just looking for upside. That is so true. By the way, let's talk about Jalen Tolbert. He was really really fun to watch. Out of South Alabama. Faced terrible competition, but he could be an interesting prospect as well at this point. Go upside, so I get it. You love Rutgert, the tight end out of Ohio State. Then
Yeah,
we see
that's the guy I had
Daubs,
on my queue.
and then we see Alec Pierce. I'm frustrated because this would have been the next player I would have taken. Alec Pierce out of
Had him there as
Cincinnati.
well.
This guy catches everything. I mean, when we talk about some of the strongest hands in the draft, I know a lot of people just keep saying for prospects, catches everything. No, Alec Pierce has some of the strongest hands you will see in this class. Catches the balls that you're just not supposed to catch. I mean, literally, the cornerback has his hands on the ball, is pushing his hand, and he's just he doesn't drop anything. So I really, really like Alec Pierce as a prospect. Now I'm looking at the board. And
Don't take my guy. Don't do it again. Don't do it twice.
Your guy, let's see. There's a couple guys I really, really want at this point. And at this point, again, it's purely upside. I'm going to talk about some players, like when this ends on the 4th round, we're going to talk about maybe 5 to 6 players that didn't get drafted and probably should have. We'll talk to you guys about those players. But at this point, I'm wondering if Tyler Beatty is in the ADP. He is in the ADP. I fell in love with Tyler Beatty watching his film. He's probably going to be a 3rd down running back, but he can be an elite 3rd down running back. Very, very fun guy to watch. Super twitchy, great speed. Not very tall, 4-star recruit, but out of Mizzou, I think he can be a J.D. McKissick in the league, and that could end up being valuable. We're in the 4th round of a rookie draft. I'm just looking for guys who are great athletes, and Beatty is so fun to watch on film.
Some high upside guys.
Well, I don't have any more picks. That is my sleeper tight end right there. Congratulations, Tebow fan. Cole Turner. We're all talking about Carson Strong, but in my opinion, no one's talking about the best player outside of Carson Strong on Nevada, and that is Cole Turner. Massive body, super athletic. I mean, fits the running back wide receiver tight end hybrid, if you will. He can do a lot of things athletically that I think a lot of GMs are going to start to like. I haven't heard anyone talk about Cole Turner, which makes me excited to maybe draft him in the 5th round or 4th round of these rookie drafts. Watch his film. Really, really good prospect. Really, really fun to watch. Wins the one-on-ones
as well.
Great after the catch as well. Really fun tight end to watch on film.
All right, which makes my pick a little bit easier. I think I'm gonna take Calvin Austin out of Memphis here. I like this guy. He's really fast, twitchy. I like speed. I like speed. I like guys that can be a slot receiver.
Oh yeah,
he could be a punt returner as well. I think he could have the fastest 40th time.
There's been talks about him going to the Olympics. I mean, that's the kind of speed he has.
He can have I think he could potentially be the fastest 40th time in this draft. So it's going to be interesting. But just because you're fast doesn't mean you can do something special. Maybe we saw that with John Ross, and GG's to him. Yeah,
but Calvin, I think, is like 5'7", so he's going to have that against him as well. Yeah. MP says, how was Tolbert available in the 4th? Yeah, a lot of people are starting to like other players, and I think Tolbert, he probably could be justified as a late 3rd round pick. Connor says, in my SuperFlex 16-team league start up, should I trade the 1.11 to the 1.14 and pick up the 6.3? I think this is a fleece for me. So just to clarify, Connor, you're saying you would lose the 1.11, the 111, you would gain the 114 and the 6.3. If that's the case, yes, I would do that. A 6th round pick in a startup is a very valuable pick. So to only move back 3 spots, I would feel really comfortable doing that kind of thing.
Yeah, I like that as well.
Shout out to everyone who subbed today. Really appreciate you guys joining the channel. We started this channel about a month ago, and it's been awesome to see the community that's starting to form. We do have our main channel where we cover redraft content, and we're going to be covering DFS and betting on that. Link is in the description, solo.to/fantasylandfootball. You can find our main channel there. It's also on YouTube if you just type in Fantasyland Football. But shout out to everyone who has joined us. We're at 38 likes. Guys, thank you so much for the likes. It means a lot. We set a like goal that was 75. It might be too ambitious. Last time we had a like goal of 50 and we hit it. But if we somehow hit 75 likes, right now the poll tells me I have to say one nice thing about the Giants, and I will not do that. So it's probably pointless to like at this point anyway.
This is super random, but Luke, great friend of the show, he is a diehard Ravens fan. Mm-hmm. And the Ravens Twitter sphere, I don't know if you saw that. Did you see this?
No.
In the chat, Marquise Hollywood Brown's retirement pursued a career in gaming per sources.
No, he's
dedicated a lot of time in the last 18 months to build Twitch following, and he's looking to parlay the success in sustaining career. I mean, hey, this could be a hoax, but
There's no way a wide receiver is going to retire from the NFL to pursue a gaming career.
Apparently, he deleted all Raven content on his Insta. He's pulling a Kyler here. Look, this can be far fetched, and this might not be a reliable source. But I mean,
why the hell would he do that? There's no way this is real. There's no way this is real.
Marquise, I'm just looking up his Twitter, his Instagram, really fast. We'll talk about some other people here, but this could be this. This can be.
If Marquise Brown just retired from the NFL to play games, you can do that when you retire from the NFL for real. When you're 35 years old, don't retire right now to pursue gaming. You can do that later, bro. Oh, I'm actually gonna be really pissed off if that's true, but I don't think that's true.
I think he just traded. Continue.
There's no way that happens, bro. Okay, so Zamir White. I thought Zamir White already went off the board. Yeah, he did. So who is this? Zaquandre White. I don't know anything about Zaquandre White.
Zaquandre White.
Anyway, I'm gonna give you guys some players that.
That's funny, bro. Is that actually a real person?
Maybe.
I'm gonna look him up.
Okay, so this draft has finished. I'm going to name a couple players that didn't go in this draft that I think should have maybe been drafted. I can't look at the ADP right now, unfortunately, but I'm just going to give you guys a list of names that I think maybe should have been drafted, or at least there's reasons to draft them. Zonovan Knight is a name, running back. Look, I think you can justify every other running back that went off the board, but people are talking about him, so maybe you should know about him. Outside of Zonovan Knight, Kyle Phillips out of USC, really, really fun player to watch. He didn't go. I think I have him higher than a couple of the wide receivers that did go. I think we actually nailed this draft. I'm trying to just make sure that we don't miss anyone.
Yeah, I mean, Hassan Haskins, did he go? That's another guy you could think of.
Haskins, I don't think his draft capital is going to justify it. How about Keontae Ingram? Really interesting prospect out of USC, transfer from Texas. He could definitely be a 1-2 running back in a system. He's not going to be a 3-down running back by any means, but he's definitely an interesting name. And as far as tight ends, Isaiah Likely. Isaiah Likely is my third tight end, third ranked tight end. So McBride went, Weidermeyer went, and then after those guys, personally, I would have taken Isaiah Likely. Now, yes, Cole Turner is my biggest sleeper, but I don't think you need to take him as early as you need to take Likely. Likely is going to shoot up draft boards, guys. He's probably going to be at latest a third-round pick in the NFL draft. For me, he fits that wide receiver tight end combo really, really well. I would have taken him over these tight ends on the board. So Isaiah Likely is a name to know. We're going to release a couple videos next week talking about players that you need to know for the NFL Combine. We're trying not to name the obvious, but going to release a list of players that we think the Combine means more to them than any other players. So look out for that. That list that's coming soon. We have a ton of content coming out, guys. A ton of content. I mean, we just recorded more content today. You guys know at this point we are popping out about 1 to 2 videos every day, 2 to 3 to 4 live streams every single week. In our Discord channel, if you join that, you can suggest content that you would like us to cover. We've covered so much content that people have asked over there in our Discord channel.
So much, and you're still doing it. So much stuff coming out too, man.
Just released a Cooper Kupp video. It's a controversial take, but I do think it's time to sell. You can check that out on our channel. We have must-keep, must-stash whole players coming out. We got profiles on Malik Willis, Kenneth Walker, Drake London coming, a panic meter on Jalen Hurts. We're going to be talking about Tua, Deebo Samuel. Is it time to sell? Is it time to hold those guys? We're going to give you deep, deep sleepers and rookie drafts. We're going to be talking about George Pickens. We're going to be grading trades in Dynasty. All that content is coming up this week and next. So be on the lookout for it. We have another mock tomorrow night. So if you didn't get in this mock, feel free to join us tomorrow. We may or may not do 2 mocks tomorrow, one being a startup, one being a rookie. We'll have to decide that. We'll have to talk about that, Badaki.
Yeah.
But
Usually those days are pretty big for us guys. So like we usually record on what's technically tomorrow is Wednesday for you guys. So we record all day Wednesday and then we do the live stream. And then it's just so much, you know. Then we have to edit and do everything. So just to keep it real with y'all, you know.
Just catching up with chat. Connor says no way, no shot that's real. Talking about Hollywood Brown retiring. Sleeper says if he retires, I'm so screwed. I have so much of him. Same. I have so much of Hollywood Brown.
He did delete everything off of his account. I'm looking at his account as primetime_jet. He doesn't have any Raven stuff on there, which he did. I remember him having a bunch of stuff on there.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. Maybe he's looking for a contract as well. You know.
Mm-hmm. Could be.
I mean, he doesn't. I'm looking at who he follows. He's not following the Ravens. Let's see.
We'll have to cover that at a different time. I need to check the sources. I need to look at what he said. But if he has truly done that, that's ridiculous. There is no way. Think about the money he'd be giving up in the NFL. Like, yes, he can make decent money as a streamer, but you can do that. You can do that after you retire. Like, there's no way you're making, as a wide receiver, he could probably make $25 million a year. Maybe that's too much, but there's no way you're making that much from streaming. And it just doesn't make sense to do that. I don't think that's real, but I'll have to look. Hopefully it's not. But guys, thanks so much for joining us. There are more and more names that we expected to be there last week that are now here. We see them starting to get drafted at the proper ADP. Again, if you're watching this back, because I know some people watch these back later on, and if you're watching it back and you're saying, no, I think this player should have gone in a different spot. It was too high. It was too low. That's actually okay. It's actually okay. Yeah. Like, there's so much room for interpretation, for your opinions, for how you view a player. More this year than ever before, there is room for interpretation on where you think players should go. But thanks so much for joining us. If you want to show us some love, drop a like as we're about to end the stream. But if anyone has anything they want to ask before we end, feel free. Otherwise, Badaki, is there anything that I'm missing? Is there anything that I haven't said that we should say?
I think the only last thing, guys, is just all love. If you want to join a Dynasty startup league with us or just a redraft during the season, patreon.com/fantasylandfam. Best way to support the show as well. We don't only just play fantasy. We give you exclusive advice, rankings, exclusive content, all that stuff. So check it out there, patreon.com/fantasylandfam. It's in the description below or in the solo.to link. Check that out. And huge love.
By the way, Sleeper Marcus just said the source looks like a huge troll, raging at people replying to the tweet saying it's fake news. Yeah, so probably. If the source is raging at people, I'll have to look on Twitter, but typically that's not a reliable source. So
no, for sure. Like I said, it could be wrong, but that's interesting.
What was the report that Adam Schefter retweeted, but it was like Barry McCockiner?
No idea.
You know that troll account that pretended to be someone from ESPN, and the name was Barry McCockiner, and it was about a really important quarterback. I don't remember what it was, but anyway, trolls are out there, so we'll have to wait and see. Guys, thanks so much for watching today. This was really fun. We always enjoyed doing this. Honored that you guys would spend your night with us. If you can show some love, drop a like on your way out. Subscribe. We got another mock tomorrow. You can join it. Join our Discord, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. We will see you then. I think that's it.
Yeah. All love, y'all. Huge love.
All right. Peace and hair grease. Who says that? That's
take care, brush your hair. Go Gene. If you know, you know.
Close on Sunday so I can hang with your sister.